At work, it can feel like stress is coming from deadlines, meetings, and expectations. But what if the pressure you feel isn't actually coming from the outside world? I'm Luke Richardson, and this is Wave Work Stress Goodbye, a podcast exploring the inside out understanding and how seeing how our minds work can transform the way we experience work, pressure, and performance. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hello and welcome back to WWSG, Wave Work Stress Goodbye with me, Luke Richardson. And today, we're going to be talking about problems. Problems at work. Now, problems don't just exist at work, obviously, but it's fair to say that no matter what industry we're in, whether we're in teaching, education, construction, whether we're project managers or working in finance, or working in a restaurant, the hospitality sector, all these different professions, and obviously not forgetting the corporate world as well, all these professions, it's fair to say there's going to be problems. That's life, isn't it? We in work life and our personal lives, there are problems, and there are problems that are pretty much a dull to fix, easy to fix, and there are problems that are very complex and take a lot of headspace from us. And I just want to take some time on this podcast recording to help you understand that problems don't particularly need so much thinking about them. There's always an obvious answer there. It's just that our thinking covers it up. Now, when I was a project manager, and I'll give you a little bit of, first of all, I'll give you a little bit of a backstory about if you don't know me very well, if you're new to this podcast, thank you very much for listening. I'll give you a little bit of a quick backstory about my working life. So I worked at a UK supermarket for 4 years called Morrison's when I was a student at university, and I then went on to get my first job after that, after I left uni, at an internet provider, and I was there for 13 and a half years. And then I stopped that and did another job. And it's fair to say that at those three companies I was at, I had different levels of problems. And as I said before, some problems were very easy to fix, and some problems took a lot of thinking time, took a lot of bandwidth from me. Maybe you can relate to that as well. Maybe if you're in a very high pressured corporate job, in a particular position at work, you have so many problems flying left, right and centre at you, and it's just draining you because you keep thinking about these problems all the time and how to fix them. And the weird thing about what I'm going to tell you now is I'm not here to tell you what are good problems, what are bad problems, how to fix certain problems. No, what this podcast is all about is helping you understand how life is really working so you can tackle these problems to the best of your ability. Now, as I said, if you're new to this podcast, thank you. I really do appreciate you listening for the first time. If you're returning, ever so grateful as well. Thank you very much for choosing me to fill up your time, to fill up your precious time with. It really is heartfelt. And as I mentioned before, if you're enjoying these recordings, do feel free to reach out to me, and I'll give details at the end of the recording. So, how does life really work? Well, I mentioned this before a number of times on previous recordings, that life for each and every one of us, all human beings, doesn't matter if you're a chef, doesn't matter if you're a CEO of a company, doesn't matter if you're an admin support assistant, doesn't matter if you're the cleaner, life all works for us in the same way, irrespective of what's going on in the outside world. And when life is working a certain way for us, we can be the beneficiaries of that, because irrespective of what's going on in the outside world, when we understand that life is flowing through us, that's a key word here, understanding. When we understand more that life is flowing through us, not coming at us from outside events, then we can tackle any problem at work, any problem whatsoever, no matter how big and small. Because when you're faced with a problem, let's say you're at your computer one day and you get that nasty email. You know the one that I'm talking about. That email that makes you go, "Oh shit," and it gets through the sensors. Your stomach drops. Palms might get a little bit sweaty. Your heart might race a little bit faster. You're thinking, "Oh crap! How do we sort this out? What's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to this? This is going to be a ball ache to fix." And so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. With understanding that oh shit, excuse my French, that oh shit feeling that you have when that moment arises is just a temporary experience of life. But it's nothing personal to you, it's nothing personal to the issue. It's just the thinking that you're bringing to the table about that problem. And any problem for that matter, how big and small in your working life and personal life. And when you can see past the oh shit thoughts and feelings and the physical attributes that brings to your body, so the sweaty palms, the fast heart rate, when you see all that is not really you, it's just your thinking that you're bringing to it. Because you could think anything about that problem. That oh shit email that comes in, you could not give a toss about it. You could unwittingly have an experience of not caring. And you can have an experience of you can have an experience out of millions of experiences. There's so many possibilities of what you could experience when that oh shit email comes in. And that's really refreshing to understand and know, because if you know you're not at the mercy of those circumstances outside of you and what's happening inside of you, then that gives you the headspace to tackle any problem that's complex, any problem that's difficult. And as I said before on the recording, there's always an easy answer to choose from. There's always an easy answer. It just gets blocked from the static in our minds that we bring to it. It's not until that static calms down that we can see the real answer. And the answer's always obvious, it's always there, if you can just see past the thoughts and feelings that are getting in your way. And with understanding of that, next time you go to your job with a heightened understanding of what I'm trying to tell you, you will do better in your job. I guarantee it. Once you see past the BS that we all bring to situations like that have nothing to do with us, it just feels like they have something to do with us because this illusion of life feels so real and so compelling that it's no wonder we get ourselves in trouble with it. We believe it. We believe we snap at colleagues. We storm out the office. We go out for that extra cigarette or extra vape because we just need something to cope, or we unwittingly check our phones to find an escape from it. And with understanding, you don't need to do all of that. So that's life, isn't it? Problems are always going to be there. They're always going to be around. There's never going to find somebody in the world who doesn't have any problems, and you'll do very well. Because everyone's got problems. It's how our understanding of life helps us get past those problems. And when you understand how life is really working for you and working for your neighbour and working for your colleague, you can tackle any problem whatsoever to the best of your ability. It might not feel comfortable, because as I said, the illusion is very, very convincing, but it's temporary, and it always unfolds beautifully with understanding of the nature of life. If you enjoyed this podcast recording, listen to my many others in my library archives. If you just go into my Wave Work Stress Goodbye archives, you'll find loads and loads of recordings from last August in there that you might enjoy just as much as this one. I'd love to hear from you. I do get emails from a lot of people, but they seem to be people that want to collaborate with me, so do podcasts with me, fellow coaches praising the podcast and the work I'm doing. If you're just somebody who's a corporate worker or a worker and just has come across this podcast and really, really enjoys it, by golly, you will make my absolute day if you email me and saying how much you loved it. And I won't expect anything from you either. Just be like, oh, thank you very much. It will help me to understand that there are people out there that are listening to this and getting a lot of benefits out of it. And you can contact me by emailing me at onethoughtaway1988 at gmail.com. That's onethoughtaway1988@gmail.com. And also, if you go into the show notes, there is a free work stress guide for you to download. Not asking anything from you for that. All you need to do is put your email address in, and the PDF will be sent to your email address. And there's a little video of me also thanking you for downloading it and taking a free copy of that. So, yep, there's a free stress guide for you in there as well. I've had a few guest episodes on recently, and if you missed them, go back into my archives again. There's so much for you to enjoy. Taking a little short break at the minute from guests, and I'll be doing a lot more solo episodes like this one between now and the next time I do some guests. So, as I say, if you've missed any episodes, go back into the archives and check them all out. And yeah, there's a lot of helpful material in there. Well, I hope it's helpful for you anyway. A lot of material in there that's hopefully very beneficial and helpful to you. So, my friends, until next time, wave work stress goodbye, and with understanding, you will wave work stress goodbye. Take care. Remember, WWSG. Take care, guys. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. If this episode resonated with you, then feel free to connect with me on Instagram or LinkedIn, where I share more insights on work stress, leadership pressure, and the inside out understanding. You can also contact me directly via email at onethoughtaway1988@gmail.com. And if you're navigating pressure in your own career, you can download my free work stress guide using the link in the show notes. Until next time, take care, and remember, work stress might feel real in the moment, but it isn't who you really are. Thank you.